Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining me once again here at Everything AeroPilates. I have yet another unboxing for you today. This is my absolute favorite model of the AeroPilates. It is a 5-cord. It is their anniversary model. This is only available right now, refurbished or returned on eBay to a seller who guarantees that it's going to be functional and as in the picture, and that everything's going to be included. So that's a great value, that's a great guarantee. This is the 555008 or the 5008 model. It's the 20th year anniversary model, the 5-cord. It's the one that came right before the tan one. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these white straps to get into this. Now, this is, again, my favorite model. This is the model that I personally use right now. It's the model that my mother uses right now. It's just the most upgraded padding on any platform of the foldable units that I have ever seen. Actually, the tan one is maybe comparable, but I think it felt like a little less, but maybe it's just because I really love this model. So I'll check it out and I'll compare them in a different video and make sure that the tan isn't as cushioned as this blue one. But this is the blue 20th anniversary model. Has a really pretty print of white, like a swirl, and you'll see it in a minute. Well, not a minute, in a while, and you can see what you think about it. It's just a really pretty model, and it just makes me cheerful, so I love it. And I just want to say, any of these models are really wonderful machines. They're all very well made. They are all very sufficient. They will get done the job. You will have a more balanced body, a more fit body. I know you probably might be looking at me saying, what does she know? But I actually have lost 2 pant sizes with the AeroPilates system. So I really need to lose more, and I'm hoping to lose more, but I'm very happy with my progress. It's just, I was stuck for a long time. I was doing a lot of other things, and this finally came through for me. And it's just a fun machine. You're gonna see if you bought one of these, or if you're considering buying one of these, I highly, highly recommend buying one. Refurbished, used, or try the refurbished units on eBay. Try Amazon, try HSN where you can do payments. You have a lot of options. And I think that this is absolutely worth the money in the long run. I know it's hard to wrap your mind around paying that much for an exercise equipment at first, but everybody in my family uses this together. So they are absolutely worth your time and worth the money in the long run. I think you're really gonna love them. So let's go ahead. I wanted to see, use caution when opening with sharp objects. See, they have a cardboard topper here. Oh, you know, I don't think I did that. My scissors aren't that sharp. Somebody must have, in the original unit, because this is a refurbished, must have used a very sharp knife. My scissors would not have done that. And so what they did is they cut down into this cardboard. All right, so we're gonna open these 4 flaps. Okay, looks good so far. So I was gonna say an option for taking this out of the box could be to cut the box completely open. Maybe I'll try to do that with one of those, but right now I'm saving the boxes to deliver these safely to people who are going to be the new owners. Cut it open, but like I said, you could just slice the corners or maybe rip them down and kind of push this out. I think that could be a pretty efficient way to get it out. I haven't tried it. Get the stuff out, but you can go ahead and grab it out this way. This is the first time I've seen a foot bar taped like to a box like that, but they are usually wrapped. And so there you go, there's your foot bar. And I'm gonna put this aside. I recommend you putting all these pieces pretty far to the side. And I'm gonna say, I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. What happened in one of my other videos when I was unpacking all of this is I put them over here in this corner, and I had to keep moving the pieces out of the way because I was scooting the box to show you guys what to do next, and it got pretty annoying. So, so you don't have that problem if you have a limited space. I mean, if you have a big space, you'll be fine. You just set them wherever and you can just scoot your unit down while you're working for it. But because I'm trying to stay in this frame and this is kind of a small space that I'm working with, I'm going to stick all these things way over to the side, and then I'll grab them later when I need them. pulling out of the bag again. This is the rebounder you can see on the top here. That's part of the trampoline part. Last AeroPilates that I opened that was refurbished, and I don't remember, it's been so long since I had an actual new one, how the pulley risers came, but in the last one I opened, the pulley risers, which we'll get to later, they were in that rebounder box. So I'm gonna have to open that in a little bit and grab them out, and I'll show you that when it's time. Here's your little packet. It has your guidebook, your DVDs here, your wall chart. You should have your, looks like the eating guide is in there, which doesn't always come in the newer ones. Actually does not come in the tan and white model anymore. They stopped including the eating guide. But it does have the 30-day jump start in here as well. So you got a really stocked little packet of stuff. Definitely look through this. It talks about some exercises in the book as well. But that wall chart is nice. Everything is nice in this little packet. And that's all included even in a refurbished unit. Okay. Going further, you need to lift this black cord, and I hope you can see that. Can you see that? Yeah. So you can lift this black cord, and underneath it is an end cap. I'm gonna go ahead and open that end cap now. And I'm gonna lift this other black cord on the other side. Grab the other end cap out. Here it is. Okay, the last thing in this bag that you're gonna need to pull out, oh, not the last thing. You have two little shoulder pads, okay, and they're in the bags. We're gonna set those aside until we need them. Okay, this is a very taped up bag of my screws, the nuts, the feet, everything that I'm gonna need to put this together. And it's taped up, which hopefully that means everything's in there. The last two unboxings that I've done had refurbished return models, and they were older than this. No, one was not older. One was older than this model, the other one was not. And they had loose pieces in the box, and that's to be expected of a model that's been shipped back and forth a couple times. And but it should all be there, okay? So if it's not all there, you look in the box later. That's what I had to do once, and I found the piece. So if you are missing something when it comes time to put it together and you bought a refurbished unit, look in the box. Or even if you didn't buy a refurbished unit, maybe it popped open, I don't know. So I'm gonna set these a little closer to me, right about here, okay? So I'm gonna need those sooner. All right, so now I'm gonna reach in the bag and just get these pieces of styrofoam out. And just toss those. That is everything out of the bag that we need to pull out. And now I'm gonna stand it up, put it on the side and stand it up. To get this AeroPilates out, I'm gonna go under the complete unit in the box, and I'm gonna lift it up, drag it a little this way, and set it on top of the box. Okay, this isn't too difficult, but I do want you to be careful when you're bending down. Make sure to squat with your feet, or squat with your feet, squat with your legs, and stand up through your legs, not yanking up through your back, okay? That's the proper way to do this kind of lift so that you don't hurt yourself. So I'm down here, I'm getting under the unit. I'm gonna lift up, drag it towards me. Okay, now, if you're gonna need help with that, please go ahead and get help. See if your husband, neighbor, son, cousin, anybody can come and just help you do that lift. Once you get this machine set up, you're gonna love it, but some of it might require a little assistance from friends and family, and that would be one of them. Now, if I had cut the box open on the side and kind of slid it out, I wouldn't have had to do that lift. So that could be a better idea. I'll actually in the box right now, you can see, and I'm gonna grab the white bar here. This is the bar that you pull to fold up the machine. It's a very sturdy bar, and I'm gonna one hand grab it, but then with my knees, stand up through my knees, and I'm gonna pull it and stand up. Okay. We have it out of the box. So, I'm gonna hold it up just for a second. Let's get it a little where you can see. All right, hold it up and just take the back off. Then I'm gonna use that same white bar that I pulled it up with. Let's see if you can see here. This same white bar. And I'm gonna lay the unit down, bending my knees, It is still on that cardboard, so it didn't scratch my floor. I know you can see all that. I'm gonna get the box out of the way now. Do you see how the wheels here, let me get there. The wheels here are off the track. This is the track. Now this whole track lifts up because it's not on the track. So all you have to do to get it back on, let's see if you can see this. Oops. Did you see that? So here it's off. I'm just gonna pull it up, back on, and I'm gonna scoot that down. That's on. And it's barely on. It's about on probably, let me feel, maybe 2.5 inches. So if you do move the frame at all during assembly, you might have it come off, but you saw how easy it was to get back on. Here it is off. Lift it up a little, slide it back on. I'm doing that with one hand because I'm holding the camera with the other. Off, back on. All right. You need to ensure that both wheels are back on. So just give that other wheel a check. You can see it right there. It is back on. Do that, getting it on and off the track. The reason is I've seen some reviews where people have said it came when it wasn't even on the track, and they're frustrated. They wanted to send the unit back. Maybe they sent this one back, and now I have it because it came off the track. And it's just something that can happen when it's in this position, especially laying down on the floor. When it's standing up, you're not gonna have that problem unless you try to lift it from the carriage. And you wouldn't do that because you have the wheels that are great to kind of roll it. So I'll show you all of that later, but this is the only time that I think you're really gonna have a problem, possibly, and not even necessarily. I've had it happen, well, a few times now that it came off the track. And you saw how easy it was, one-handed. I got it right back on the track just by pushing this back after I lined it up a little. So now we have the frame still folded. I'm gonna open my bag of goodies. All right, 2 wheels. You can see I have 4 of these screws. Can you see that? So I'm gonna set them here. But what that screw is, whoops, is to secure the pulley risers. You can also use it to secure the foot bar and the trampoline rebounder, but you don't have to secure the foot bar and the rebounder. So all that's set aside for now. These little guys are the feet, little rubber feet. Let's see if you can see that. Okay, has a screw inside of it. 2 of the refurbished units I got recently, the screw fell out. You just have to push it back in. You can watch those videos. If your screw's out, literally just, you'll see a loose screw. The only screws in this machine, actual physical screws, are for these feet. So if you have screws, they're for the feet. And that's this machine, by the way. There's a couple machines that have extra screws. I can show you that some other time. These screws are about 1.5 inches, and they fit right into the little feet. And so you should have 4 of those, hopefully with the screw all the way in, or already in. This one, it's not poked up, but it's in there. I just push it up, it's in there. Last feet. So I have 4 feet. And then I do have my 6 washers. You should have 6 washers. One of my refurbished units only had 4 earlier today, and it's absolutely sufficient. When I first put my very first one together that I still use, I used only 2 because I didn't realize, I didn't read the directions, and I didn't realize what to do with, all these extra washers. So I only used 2, and it was absolutely fine. So the one I did today, again, only had 4 washers, so I only used, and I mean 2 each side, by the way. So I only used 2 each side, even though it calls for 3 each side. But since we have 6 washers, go ahead and use them. On your refurbished unit, you have this long, I still don't even know what to call this, but it looks like a double-sided screw that's been soldered onto the bottom of the AeroPilates here. You're gonna take 2 washers at first and stick it on one side to the edge. 2 washers, stick it on the other side. These have a left and right side where you're gonna put the wheels. Now that the 2 washers are on, you're gonna ground the wheels. Put one on one side, one on the other side. Okay, and now you have the last 2 washers. You're gonna put one on each side of the wheel, kind of close out. And you have the little nuts that are gonna go on the edge. So I'm gonna finger tighten them at first, and I'll show you 2 ways you can get these a little tighter. When you're doing the wheels, it's funny, my very first AeroPilates build, I tightened the wheels too tight, and they didn't spin. So it's no use trying to roll up the machine. So then when I tried to roll up the machine like I had seen Marjolaine Bergman do in the QVC demonstrations, it would not roll. And I was like, what's going on? So I had to go back and loosen them. And oddly enough, today when I was doing one of the AeroPilates machines, I did the same thing. I tightened it too tight and I had to go back and loosen it. So when you do it, I'm just having problems finger tightening this right now. But when you guys do it, make sure that you do not make it too tight. There we go. You just gotta put it straight. They like it straight. Okay, so this is your tool for the AeroPilates. First units, they're just floating separately, it's fine. This one acts like a ratchet. It has 2 sides. It has like, almost like a flush side, and it has a side that's a little crimped. You're not gonna actually use that crimped side, the side that's almost flushed. And it's gonna act like a ratchet. And I'm gonna hand tighten it at first. Oh, that's going pretty far. If you get a good angle, you might get a pretty good tighten on that with that. Okay, if I'm not having success with that, you know what, it's in enough to give me a little bit of leverage. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on, stick it in a little, tighten it down. Then I have to lift it all the way back up, put it on the top, tighten it back down. I'm gonna do probably 2 more. I did 5 earlier when I over tightened that. Unless, I said 2 more, didn't I? 3 more is too many. So I just did there, I over tightened it. I put it down 1 too many cranks, so I just cranked it back. And now, spin the wheel, make sure you hear that sound. It's ready to go. So let's do the other side. This side, start at the bottom, tighten it up. Okay, so what I did is through the nut, I see the end of the whatever bar that's soldered down here, it has threads. And so I see the end of the threads coming through that nut, so I know that it's on tight enough. I'm spinning the wheels, they are loose enough, so we are good to go on the wheels. I want you to remember when you're putting this together that you don't have to stop and talk or display or point things out, so it's gonna go a lot faster than this actual video, okay? So try to remember that. Don't get discouraged if you think this video is too long. Your putting together experience will be much different. You see that I have something, I have something weird. It's on a string, okay, and usually it's locked in to keep the AeroPilates together. So now if I lifted this top, I can only lift it about, what, 2 inches. Could you see that? If I pull the pin out and I stick it in the hole on the same side as the pin, I can lift this much higher. So before we do the next part, we're gonna make sure that that pin is out. You want it out and on the same side as the rope so that you can open the AeroPilates fully. We're gonna lay this guy on its side so that we can put the feet on. So I'm just gonna set these screws to the side and get ready for the feet. When I'm laying it on the side, I'm making sure it's back so I don't lose it off the carriage. And I'm just gonna tilt it up on my cardboard so I don't run the floor. All right, we are good. And you can start getting a peek at this beautiful, beautiful blue carriage. I love it, I love it, I love it. All right. My cardboard is not where I want it to be, so I'm just lifting this up and scooting it over. Okay, now this V is sufficient. You could probably do it a little more so you could get in there. All right, so these little feet, you can hand tighten. At least a little bit. then you're gonna have to use the screwdriver. But I'm gonna hand tighten them all in a little bit. And there were holes down at the bottom here, I forgot to say that. You can see where that actually went. All the way on the bottom of the machine, there are holes that you can just start to screw. That one went really well hand tightening. Sometimes they don't go very far at all. I think earlier today didn't even start at all. I had to use the screwdriver right away. But, so if you do, just use the screwdriver right away. It's okay. If you can do some hand tightening, go ahead and start it out. It helps a little. So now, this is a Phillips screwdriver. That's a Phillips screw in there. I'm gonna make sure I line it up so that I can get a good grip. I'm also gonna push into it to give it enough force to really screw in there. So, okay, I got it caught. I'm gonna hold on to it to give it the support it needs. I'm gonna try not to drop my screwdriver. If you use some of your own tools, if you just have better tools, this whole process will be a little easier for you. Come on, I don't think it's in there. Hold on, try that again. Okay, and this is literally the longest part, is to screw these 4 feet in. If you have a better screwdriver, it might go faster, but I mean, like I said, this is sufficient. You don't need anything else. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. It just took a little longer, but actually, what was that, like maybe 35 seconds, maybe 45? Maybe my timing's bad, I don't know, but that's what it felt like to me. So hopefully it was only about that much. So I'm getting it tightened in, locked into the screw. Come on. Okay, and that one's tightened, you're gonna feel. Get it into the screw. All right, that one's already tightened, right? So let me do one more. Oh, I wanted to do one more and I lost it. Hold on. Okay. Yep, that one's good. And the last one. Now I'm leaning all crazy, trying to make it so that you can kind of see what I'm doing, but absolutely you would not do that. You would probably be in the middle here, lean to this side, come over to this side, and just get it done. So I'm actually going to do that right now to finish this last one. So you would be in here, you would do this side, come over and do this side. And I'm going to finish off that way. Okay. So again, that is the longest part of this entire assembly. Now we're going to have to open the machine, okay? And what I'd like to do is the side that does not have the carriage on it, I like to pull that around until it's straight. So in order to do that, I am going to have to do some moving again. Remember, you do not have to move your AeroPilates if you have space. Just go from where you are. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Oh, I'm hitting my light. So now you can see that beautiful, beautiful carriage. You can see why maybe I like it. Hopefully you understand why I like it. Now I'm going to lift this side up off of the cardboard so I don't scratch my floors. It's going to be slightly lifted. I'm going to walk it out over here. I think I need to go this way a little bit more without hitting my light. Okay. I'm going to lift this up, hold on to this guy, walk it out. Oops. Don't do that. You will get off track again. Walk it out, till it is straight. Don't scratch the walls. And lay it down. Okay, build, but you can see just this beautiful blue. I love this blue. It's just like a deep blue, this swirl, the white letters. This is my favorite. I can already feel the padding is so nice compared to the other models. So if you have a chance to get this model refurbished, returned refurbished, you will love it. So, but it's not the only model, so it's just my favorite. That doesn't mean it has to be your favorite. Maybe you think this color is really ugly, and that's totally fine. That's why we are all different. What's going on over here? So we're gonna get some pieces that we had set aside. I'm gonna tell you what to get if you are working along with me. If not, I'm just gonna tell you what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get the 2 shoulder pads. I'm gonna get the 2 end caps, the long black pieces, and I am going to get the foot bar and the pulley risers. Okay, so that's shoulder pads, so there's gonna be 2 of those, end caps, 2 of those, the pulley risers, there are 2 of those. Remember, those are gonna be in the rebounder, so I'll actually open that on camera so that you can see. And the 2, where's the last thing? The foot bar, okay? So here we go. Two shoulder pads. Whoops. 2 end caps. The foot bar. And I'm gonna grab the rebounder so we can do the pulley risers. So here's the rebounder. You can see it's nicely taped into this box. Oops. Previously, I have cut this open. Then you have the tape down here, and I've cut that tape open, and it's kind of a pain. But I had the idea to actually just rip this top plastic open and slide this guy up. I hope that's gonna work. We're gonna find out right now. Here we go. I was gonna say, seemed like a good idea. No, it's working. It's working. Okay. Oops. There we have the rebounder, but we're not going to use this right now. So I am going to set it aside. And the plastic. So in this box, that slid right out, are the pulley risers. For the pulley risers, I found a new quick way to open them. So you see that they're in this cardboard. You could cut all the tape, and wrangle them out. But what I'm gonna do is just rip this cardboard top, poke holes in these tips here, or ripples, whatever. And slide them out. Do the same with this side. Rip it. Slide it out. Okay. So now we have the pulley risers out and secured. The other thing I'm going to do is I am going to remove this cardboard. I don't need it anymore because now I have the rubber feet under my AeroPilates. It's not going to scratch my floor. It's going to protect it. So I'm just going to get rid of this cardboard. It looks kind of junky. And I don't want it in my shot anymore. So at this part you have no more use of tools, so that's a really good thing. Everything else you can do by hand. So the first thing I'm going to do is open these shoulder pads. Again with the shoulder pads. What are they called? Probably supports, shoulder supports. And it pops right into that. Let's move the carriage down. You can see this white circle right here. Open the shoulder support. Pops right in. And you're done with the shoulder support. For the purposes right now, I'm going to go ahead and strap this carriage with one cord. And I'm just going to use the very right cord, which is the black cord, and pop it in. No, you can't see that. I'll have to show that to you later. But I'm going to keep the carriage down so we can work up here. So you have 2 end caps. You're going to see that one set of end caps, I'm going to get closer like I always do. These are the 2 end caps. So here's one side. They have matching sides. These matching sides have, the curved arches on the edges. Do you see the curved arches on the edges? But in the middle of this one has the 2 squared arches, and those are for the wheels. Okay, so wherever the wheels are, this is gonna pop around and the wheels are gonna come out right through there. Now flip over the side, you're gonna see 2 squared off arches, and these are gonna face the rails. So these are actually gonna go down and be on top of the rail. So that's how one way you're gonna be able to tell how your foot, not foot pads, your end caps go. So because this one has the middle pieces for the wheels, I don't need that right now because I'm gonna be doing the head part and the wheels are down at the bottom. So I'm gonna set that one down aside. And I'm gonna grab this end cap. Again, my curvy part, my curved arch is gonna go away from the machine, and the squared arch is gonna go right here on the rail. I'm gonna pull off the sticky tape. Let's get down here. Okay, so you can see that's pulling off. There's one. There's 2. The one thing I want to tell you to do is you're going to have to remember that these holes have to line up with the holes in the white metal. So I'll show you a little trick that I use to make sure they line up. So here it's going to go onto the rail. And once I start to get it on there a little, I don't push it all the way down yet, so don't push it all the way down yet. I'm going to stick my 2 fingers in there to make sure I can put them down into the white holes. And then I can push it down. That's lined up. Now if I got it misaligned, you don't even have to worry. You can just pull it back up. It's not the most efficient thing to do, but you can just pull it back up. How we're going to check to make sure those holes are aligned is I'm going to just use the pulley risers that I have right here because they have to go in there anyway. And the pulley risers, the hole right here on the bottom of the pulley riser is going to go towards the wall. So it's going to go away from the AeroPilates, so like away from the shoulder pads, okay? Alright, and it fits, so obviously that hole is lined up enough. Can you see that? No, you cannot. There you go. So that fits, so that obviously that hole was lined up well enough. And now I'm going to find the other, this is the bottom hole. You don't want these 5 that are the same size. That's not what we're looking at right now. We're looking at just this bottom hole. And it's going to face out towards the wall, away from your head. Okay, and now that the pulley risers are in, you're going to take these 2 screws. You're going to stick them in where that archway was. And I'll show you with this other end cap. So here's the archway. Remember, this is the foot bar one, but we're talking, I'm just gonna show you, it's gonna go right in there like this, and you actually screw it in, okay? And it's gonna connect with the metal at that point, and it's gonna connect through to the pulley riser. So on the head cap, we'll say, the head part of the end cap, I'm going to stick it into this archway, screw it in, get it into the hole of the metal, and get it into the pulley riser. You might need to wiggle the pulley riser just a little bit to get it to catch on that screw. And these have really good grip on them, and you really want to tighten this. This is the pulley riser where your straps are going to be. You want your straps absolutely secure. Okay, so it's time to do the straps. You can see here that the strap, whoops, don't slam that down. The strap has a rubber band here that you're going to take off. And it's actually going to need to either be broken off or clipped off. If you have scissors nearby, ouch, just use them because that hurts. Same thing with it, and that had 2 rubber bands to secure the furry handles so they wouldn't move around a lot. So we have another one here that we're working with. Okay, so now we have the handle. And the handle has this pulley system here, and then it has the attachment that goes onto the pulley riser. So what we're looking for is this archway on the attachment. It's like kind of like a little hook, and the archway is going to hug the back of the pulley riser, and the hook, the straight part, is going to come from the inside of the riser and hit out. So we're gonna hug the outside, put the hook straight part through, and it's gonna hug down on the pulley riser. Here is the rubber band. That one came right off, that was nice. And then this is the one that has to be pulled off some crazy way. So for now, I'm just gonna leave it on my strap until I grab my scissors. So again, we're gonna look at the hook. The archway is gonna go on the back of the pulley riser, and the straight part, you see that straight part there, it's gonna come from the inside and go through to the outside. So, curvy side, and the back of the pulley riser, and the straight part goes through from the inside to the outside. Okay, now the straps are on the pulley riser. I hook these fuzzy loops onto the shoulder supports, and I'll show you that in just a second when we back this camera up. So your pulley risers are ready to go. Almost done with our build. We have this end cap to put on. We have the square arches here, and then we have the curved arches with the extra holes for the wheels on this side. Because the wheels are right here, we're gonna make sure that goes towards the wheels. I'm gonna pull off the sticky stuff. Let's see if I have a little room to go. Oh, yeah, maybe, okay. And, nope, this way. Okay, pull off the sticky back. There's 2 of them, so I'm gonna do them both. Okay, again, I'm gonna check the rails, the extra ones for the wheels. So it's gonna go this way. Put it partially on, if you can see. And now I'm gonna put my fingers in the holes to go down to the white metal, line them up before I push it down. Okay, and the test for this one is actually the foot bar. I did not unwrap it yet, but all I'm gonna do for this video is just pop out these ends, because that's all I need to see if it's gonna go in there. All right, it goes in there, very nice. Oh, that's sliced. What a bummer. So it's looking like that slice in the cardboard actually did slice the foot bar. That is a major bummer. But when it has a crack like that in a foot bar, all I do is super glue it together, that crack. So I'll show you the seam actually for it so you can see it. But on a refurbished unit, if you have a slice like that in the cardboard, like I showed you earlier with a really sharp knife, you might have to worry about, can you see it there? That slice. For this build, we got it out of the box, which is probably the most time-consuming part of getting it ready to be used, and then we put it together. So to put it together, we added the wheels on the end, we added the little feet underneath, and the feet underneath, because you had to use a screwdriver to screw it in, that was the most time-consuming of the actual assembly. It still took, I think, if I'm guessing right or if I'm remembering right, about 2 minutes total just for that. So the wheels I think took, well, maybe 4 minutes. Let's say the wheels took 2 minutes, the feet took 4 minutes. Popping on the shoulder supports was super quick. Popping on the end caps was quick. The pulley risers maybe took another 2 minutes, and getting the straps in with that. So you have a very quick build and assembly once you get this out of the box. And I'm going to go ahead and pan through so you can see the finished product and decide what you think. So I really hope you enjoyed the assembly process of this and watching it. I hope it made it less intimidating for you to get your own model home. I'm going to talk more about the AeroPilates in general on this channel and just how wonderful it is. This is really the only place that you can get it is from a refurbished reseller, and you want one that guarantees that it functions, and this machine does function. Okay, check out my other videos. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Okay, bye.